What's going on, my fellow A-Plusers? Welcome back to our brand new episode of A-Plus Morphinominal, your stop for your Power Rangers and Super Sentai review and news right here on our YouTube page, A-Plus Opinions. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, coming through once again on hashtag Super Sentai Mondays, guys. That's right. We've got ourselves a brand new Super Sentai series to go ahead and drop into. 2020 is certainly here, guys, for the brand new Super Sentai, and Mashin Sentai Kiramager has finally arrived, guys. As we wave so long to a real soldier in the rear view mirror, we saw the handoff last week, and now we wind up getting ourselves a brand new team to be tackling this week. Now, I will say this. I know a lot of people came into this week's episode thinking Adam's going to get into Kiramager episode 1. Well, guess what? Listen, now, while episode 1 certainly has aired over in Japan, we still have just the raw videos as of right now. We have not gotten an English subtitled for Kiramager episode number 1, but we do have English subtitles for episode number 0. It's something that I've been really wanting to review and at least watch. I believe when we talked Saturday's episode of A-Plus Morphinominal, at the time, the raw episode of episode 0 was out, but no English subtitle. So I had asked you guys, hey, if any of you guys can certainly find an English subbed version of this episode 0, please send me a link, send it my way, so I can certainly go ahead and check it out. And lo and behold, man, thank you guys. Kudos to each and every one of you that certainly did send me a link. I probably got like 2 emails, couple of DMs, all with the link. So guys, I really appreciate you all looking out for me, and I did get the opportunity to watch episode 0. So we will be reviewing for you guys today, at least, episode number 0. Now, for those of you who are wondering, where's episode number 1? Listen, I looked on Kiss Asian, it's not there. The website that I usually go to get them subbed this early is Overtime, and they don't have it up yet as of 8 o'clock this evening. So, if anything, who knows? It may drop while we're doing this review and talking and things like that. So, if it does drop tonight, I will be probably watching it tonight, and if anything, we'll probably have the review early tomorrow, maybe around 7 o'clock or so tomorrow. I'll probably work on the thumbnail tonight. Again, that's if the episode drops today with an English subtitle, then we'll definitely do a review for you guys tomorrow. The 2 reviews I do want to focus on: Kiramager episode 1, since it is a debut episode, and then of course Black Lightning. That's actually going to be doing its season finale today, so we will be doing a Black Lightning review for you guys tomorrow. Also, Supergirl will probably have to wait. I want to focus on these 2 shows real quick, just because we're beginning one and wrapping one up. So Supergirl will be coming if you guys are looking for that review, but probably, if anything, on Wednesday. So certainly go ahead and check that out. Let me see who's over here in the live chat with us real quick, showing them some support and love this hashtag Super Sentai Mondays. We got Doomsday in the house, as always. Not Ultra certainly coming through. Twin sister. So you have a twin sister. Sorry, I went straight into Darth Vader mode. Then we've got JB says, what? Certainly in here. He says, I have not found the sub. Man, but hey, yeah. So again, not finding the sub for episode number 1. Certainly not out there as of right now, but certainly don't worry. Again, we're going to go ahead and get into episode number 0 for you guys today. And of course, whenever episode 1 hits, you guys know here at A-Plus Morphinominal, we got you covered. So certainly do not worry about that. What I would say, though, is do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, guys, and that bell notification, so that when we do go live with our next Kiramager episode, you guys will certainly be notified. And of course, if you want to follow us on social media, you can do so right here at A-Plus Opinions, guys, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And of course, if you're in the live chat, if you love the content we're dishing out to you guys, please do us a big favor, hit that like button, guys. Give us a thumbs up. That allows YouTube to recognize our work and recommend it to other people, so we can continue to grow our Super Sentai and Power Ranger community here, guys. So with your support, we can certainly get there. So thank you very much, everybody, for certainly joining me today. And of course, let's see here. We've got Ultraman. Ultraman certainly popping in here. Not Ultra says, disclaimer, it's the first episode, so in terms of the names, I might not have learned them all, but it's okay. I will eventually learn them. And hey, Not Ultra, I'm glad you said that, because boom, disclaimer. Disclaimer, I say this at the top of all of my Super Sentai reviews. If this is your first time joining us for a Super Sentai review, let me just say this. I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with names. So I may end up butchering some names. I'll certainly do my best to try and pronounce them, but that's what I do around here. I butcher names, not on purpose, but I certainly try. If anything, I may give them a nickname. We may shorten it up at some particular point in time. So I'm not Japanese, so that language doesn't roll off my tongue very easily. I do try my hardest though, for sure. So just wanted to give you guys that disclaimer. You're pronouncing this name right, guys. I hear that every time, so that's why I put the disclaimer up. Okay, so I'm doing my best here. So just before we even get into this review in regards to it, and yes, I will also do my best in remembering some of these particular names. And of course, Devin Williams certainly has popped up in here to join us for our live chat. So guys, let's do this, man. Let's go ahead and break down episode number 0 of Kiramager, an episode that I was really pleased with. I truly was. I don't know how much of this information that we learned from episode 0 we'll get to see in episode 1. I don't know if they're going to have sort of a brief recap for people that didn't get the opportunity to go out to see the movies, because I believe episode 0 played in front of the Real Soldier movie. So not exactly sure who went out to go ahead and watch that, or whatever the case may be. So I'm not sure what information is in episode 1 that's not in here, but I do love the information that we get. For me, I love the opportunity to not only see Planet Crystallia, but also get the opportunity to see how the Kiramagers wind up becoming the Kiramagers in the first place. Like, what is it that attracted these Kiramage stones to these characters, and really just that first sort of meeting between all of them. Right off the bat, though, you can definitely tell that this series is definitely going to be jumping into the imagination realm for sure. Just the planet of Crystallia looks beautiful. All the sparkling images and things like that, absolutely fantastic. But then we immediately come to see just death and destruction reign upon Planet Crystallia as Jotunheim, the Empire Jotunheim, winds up taking over, coming in to go ahead and take, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's the King, Master Oradin. But yes, Master Oradin. Anytime I saw his name on screen, I immediately went to Odin, like King of Asgard, anytime that I saw him. So Master Oradin is in fact the king of planet Crystallia. We get to see his daughter in here, Princess Mabushina, also. She's clearly concerned about why or how the Jotunheim even got here. She does make reference to the idea that they took like secret tunnels to go ahead and infiltrate planet Crystallia. And the moment that she said, "How did they find our secret entrance?" I immediately knew we have a traitor in our midst. We have a traitor in our midst. And I'm immediately, who is it? Who is it? And we quickly come to find out that it is, in fact, the king's brother in Garza. Now, just from the magazine scans alone that we wind up seeing, get an opportunity to see some of the Jotunheim generals with Tarantula, who's leading the army here in the beginning. And then Garza also, we get to see him in the magazine scans in a completely different form. So the fact that, for me at least, I find out in episode 0 that the traitor to bringing down Planet Crystallia all along was the king's brother in Garza, who now is switching sides to Jotunheim. Ooh, boy. I got to know what that backstory is like. I certainly hope that they explain that a little bit. It's certainly personal for sure, especially if it's something that has to deal with somebody's family being a traitor towards your kingdom. I'm fascinated. I definitely am fascinated to kind of see what turned Garza, who got into his ear, what was his relationship like with Oradin, or even the princess Mabushina at one time, for him to go ahead and do something like this. So fascinating immediately right off the bat. Clearly, you get to see Master Oradin defeated, taken by Jotunheim. I'm not sure if he's dead or if he's just being captured. We'll see how the series winds up progressing, but we do see him at least telling his daughter, Mabushina, if anything happens to me, take the crystals or go to Earth and find me some warriors to go ahead and fight for us. And that's exactly what happens in here. Immediately, I get sucked into the costume designs, the set designs. I think Mabushina, for the most part, while odd looking for sure, I think it's still a beautiful design at the end of the day. I love it looks like she's rocking a helmet, but clearly it's just a mask. But she does even have her own locks of hair and things like that. So I'm really fascinated to kind of see how things work. And I want to say one other thing too in regards to the crystals, because once she gets to Earth, she's actually rescued by the company or how are we pronouncing this? Karat, C-A-R-A-T. Is that an acronym for something? I don't think it was explained here in episode 0 or not, but clearly Karat, this company here, who's run by, was it Mr. Moryu? It's like Haka. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce his first name or his last name. I'm just gonna call him Mr. Moryu. We come to find out Mr. Moryu is actually a friend to Master Oradin. They clearly have worked together in the past. They clearly know each other rather well because Moryu, for the most part, has a contingency plan. They've been building this concept already of using the Kirame stones to create these warriors already. That's what Moryu has really been working on this whole entire time in case anything like this were to happen. So he's already got himself some sort of like official government base already, right? Like they got the Kirame changers and the swords and the weapons just ready to go, waiting for the Kirame stones to pick out the Karamental in specific people as to who they want to be their brand new masters and brand new warriors here for the Kiramagers. So I find it fascinating that all that stuff's been kind of already worked out behind the scenes, so we can immediately just sort of jump into the action. So I thought that was fun, and get an opportunity to see Mabushina bring the Kirame stones to life. I thought was fascinating. One of the things that I already know I'm going to love about this series is the personalities. You know, Moryu certainly made it a point to explain to us that each of the stones have their own individual personalities. They're their own individuals. They react to certain things differently. They have different thought processes than each other. And for me, that's going to be really fun to kind of see how the stones play off of not only each other, but just the chemistry that they're going to have with their, I guess you can say, their significant other, because they're going to be clearly attached at the hip for majority of the time in here. So I do love that we immediately give them personalities. So we've got ourselves extra characters that our main characters can really bounce off of, create bonds with, and have some sort of emotional tie. So boom, count me in already. And honorable mention before we continue, guys. I love just the designs of the stones and the fact of how they move, considering the fact that they're literally objects that don't talk or anything like that, right? I mean, clearly we have voice actors that do it, right? But it's literally like taking... Here, I have a perfect example. What I want to talk about is I want to give major props to the actors and the performers here in this episode, simply because of the fact that they are really the ones, besides the voice actors, they're definitely the ones that help bring these Kirame stones to life. It's something fascinating about the idea of seeing one of the actors literally holding up this stone in their hand, and then anytime it talks, you know, moving it towards the screen, backing it up sort of thing, right? I mean, it's almost like the box itself is talking, you know what I mean? Or if it gets started, like, you know, like there's like, just think about that for a second, right? The fact that whoever's holding the stones or talking with the stones, anytime that it expresses itself as an actor, you also have to work the gem. And I think for me, that's fascinating. And now I know there was a scene, right, where like Mabushina was in the streets and she's holding it, and then all of a sudden the stone kind of floats out of her hand. I'm pretty sure that there are moments where the stone is attached to some sort of like fish wire or some fish line to kind of cause that effect. But when there's not, I would not be. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm pretty sure that that's how they're doing it, as far as just having the gems work. But I think that's just a absolutely just brilliant little thing that they can do while they're talking to it to kind of express it. So not only are they doing a fantastic job with their acting, but they're also performing in regards to making the gems kind of come to life. And for me, I honestly love that. I really do love that idea. The personalities are absolutely great. I'm already loving just some of the reasoning behind while they're picking people up. Look, you know, I've been saying this even before Kiramager started. Cena's already one of my favorite characters, and she definitely didn't disappoint in here, and neither did the Kirame Green Stone at all. I know I'm gonna love their relationship together, right? He's already super proper, very honorable, it seems like, calling her Lady Cena, his master. Very obedient gem for sure. She clearly has the hots on whoever the voice is for this, saying like, oh, what a hot voice and things like that. I think even in the trailer, she mentioned something like sexy voice and things like that too. So I'm fascinated to see how that turns out. But clearly she's picked up because of her amazing speed. She's extremely fast. We see her doing some track in here. Blue is probably one of my other favorites because the blue gemstone kind of reminds me of like just like your hype man. You know what I'm saying? Like the person that you want that's always going to have your back at the end of the day, that's always going to pump you up. Like, you got this, bro. You got this. That's exactly who Karame's blue gemstone is all about. Picking up the stunt guy here that we see, the action star in this episode, who's again an actor. But he's picking him up because he's like, look at these cool sword skills that he's got, sort of thing. I love the fact that the blue gemstone is legit just a hype man. I think it's fantastic. Pink gemstone clearly wants her person to be just cute and smart and cuddly, and the fact that she gets the doctor, I think is brilliant. I mean, the doctor immediately fell in love with the pink gemstone. They are immediately bonded. They clearly love each other immediately. So that was pretty cool to kind of see. And then yellow, I thought was fascinating too. The esports star. It should be fascinating to kind of see how the relationship is between the gemstone and him. I mean, even what's the character's name? Green is Cena. Pink is Sayo, Sayo, Sayo. We've got yellow, who's Tamatomo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe it's Tamatomo. And then we've got blue, who is Shiguru. And so when it comes to Tamitomo, or maybe, am I saying that right? Let me pull that up. Hold on, I might be pronouncing his name wrong. Tamitomo. Nope, that's right. Okay. Even he's impressing the yellow gemstone in this episode, which I thought was pretty neat. And the one running thing that we do see here that Mabushina's kind of asking herself is, you know, I'm glad that you guys, for the most part, have found people with all this Kiramental inside of them. Clearly, there's a connection, but it's like, are they really gonna be the right people for the job, right? I mean, when we're looking for warriors, instead we've got ourselves an actor, a track star, an esports player, and a doctor. And it's not until Moryu winds up actually fooling everybody by giving us this like a virtual reality setting where he's putting the Kiramagers to the test when the Kiramagers don't even know that they're being put to the test. I thought that was pretty brilliant to kind of make up this fake emergency, like, oh, the Yodan's already here, let's go ahead and start this off, sort of thing. I love the fact that this team kind of just jumps into it, you know, and I think it's one of those things too that Mabushina was probably even surprised at also at the end of the day. And I can easily understand why she would definitely feel that way and feel uncertain about this team of people just taking down a Yodan. But I think what's important here is the fact that they are like the best at what they do. I mean, they may not be like the best, but maybe in their field where they're at in particular, they're probably the best at what they do. And in order to be the best at what you do, you gotta have a mentality about it, right? Like, you can't be just a slack ass at the end of the day to achieve the success that all of these characters are achieving, right? So you gotta have a unique sort of mental state that regardless of your situation, you're gonna overcome it and you're gonna continue to push yourself sort of forward. And despite them having masterships and just completely random things, I think when you attribute the power of the Kiramager to these particular characters, then it kind of just, clearly it heightens their abilities. So yeah, they can do all these things, but I think the mentality alone that they all share and being those overachievers and those people that always push really probably make for a very smooth transition for them into becoming Kiramagers, right? shine yourself away at the end of the day. Show people why you shine, and that's exactly what they're definitely doing in here. The action looked fantastic. Getting to see the sharp shooting from Karame Yellow, Tommy Tomo was fantastic. Getting to see the fantastic swordsmanship from Karame Blue and Shiguru. I will say this: when it comes to Karame Pink and Seiyo, she's very elegant in her moves. Not a lot of unwasted movement. A flick of the wrists, flick of the arms here and there, a spin here. All of her movements are very tight and concise in just how she expects them to be. And with her being a doctor, I think that's a perfect sort of fighting style for her. And then, of course, we've got Seiyo. We've got Cena, Karame Green, with the amazing speed. I feel like when it comes to Green Rangers, they're usually always the fastest. I feel like that's a trope when it comes to Green Rangers, or at least maybe the couple that I've certainly seen tend to have a lot of quick speed. The Green Rangers tend to do. So again, see her quick movement, her quick head jukes, breaking people's ankles as she's slashing them down. The really cool like bounce off of the wall sort of thing I thought was great. If you pay attention to some of the fight sequences in here, the idea that they literally shine and glitter during their battle moments, whether it be an arm movement and then we get sparkles, or they pose for a second, or even while they're fighting, they literally will have moments where they just glow and shine. I think that's cool. I think aesthetically very pleasing to the eye. I think it certainly adds to the theme of this season for sure. And the henshin, now I don't know if that's a full henshin just yet. I feel like maybe we'll get ourselves a fully broken down henshin once we actually get the 5th Kiramager in here, as unfortunately Karame Red has not found his particular person yet. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But from what I did see, it looked pretty cool. From, I think they push the button and they put the arms out, and then they pull their arm back and it twists the Kiramager, the Karame changer, and it winds up turning them. We get to see like almost like diamonds or crystals sort of engulf them from the ground up, and it winds up changing them. And then you've got the gigantic power source, the crystal, that winds up hitting them on the back, and then it follows the racetrack or whatever, the strip around them, all the way up to the front as it glows. And I think it looks great. You've got the shiny armbands, right? I believe somebody in our comments had mentioned that if it was Ultraman or I believe it was Ultraman that might have mentioned it when we were looking at scans originally, the idea of their suit being kind of two different materials. The sleeves definitely shining, but you can clearly tell the rest of the suit is a different fabric. So I really enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed what I got to see here. And of course, the big question mark comes with Karame Red. We got the opportunity to see the main character in here in Juru Atsuda. I believe they're calling, I think in the English subtitles they were calling him Atsuda. Although I'm not sure if Juru is his first name or what, but we'll go with Atsuda. Or Atsuda. Yeah, Atsuda. I will say, just from first impressions, I don't really know how to feel about him just yet, because we literally see him in the beginning waking up from a dream, which his dream, mind you, is the crystal from Planet Crystallia with the Karame stones crash landing on Earth. As it crashes, he actually wakes up from it. So there is a connection. He definitely has some sort of connection with Planet Crystallia, or at least the Kiramagers, because that's not the only time that he's had a vision. At the end of the episode, when we see his drawing pad, he actually has a picture of Garza also. So he's clearly been dreaming about this place, or at least has seen this in his dreams. So where the connection is at, I'm not sure, but there clearly is one. And I'm wondering why, of all people, he's the one seeing it and able to kind of draw this out. You know, he's a little bit too over enthused for my taste, but I only really find that when he's drawing. You know, when he was having the issue of like dreaming and trying to get his mind right and things like that, he seemed like he was a rather chill character for the most part. You know, showed concern sort of thing. So it doesn't seem as though he's going to be always over the top, but I'm pretty sure he's going to have some sort of fanboy in him, right? And clearly a passion for writing and drawing and things like that. So we'll see what happens. But for me, I honestly just did not see enough from the Atsuda character to really have a strong enough opinion in regards to him or not. So we'll see what episode 1 winds up showcasing us, because I have a feeling he's probably going to be highlighted a little bit more, considering the fact that we don't have Kirame Red and they still have to discover him. So hopefully here in episode 1 we'll certainly get some answers and really get a better idea as to his persona. And quick honorable mention also, I am fascinated as to what the stone around Moryu's neck is. I'm wondering if that's something that Master Oradin kind of gave to him. You know, maybe that's like a form of like knighthood or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's another form of maybe eventually he becomes an extra ranger, right? And that's his particular Kirame stone. But we'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. But overall, solid episode number 1 for me, honestly. Again, I don't know what they're going to showcase to us in episode 1. But if episode 0 is anything, I'm kind of glad that I learned what I did and got the opportunity to watch this episode before diving into episode 1. So yeah, overall, guys, I certainly enjoyed it. But at the end of the day, guys, these are just my A+ opinions. I definitely want to know yours. So if there's anything in particular that I might have missed from some of the characters or some of the early storyline ideas that you might have seen that I might have missed that you want to further go ahead and talk about, please go ahead and do so in the live chat or in the comment section box below if you're joining us after the live chat. So let me go ahead and jump into the live chat with you guys and see what some of you guys are saying in regards to this week's episode. Let's see here. Oh, nice to see that you guys have been pretty active today out here in this episode. So let's see here. Devin Williams says Kiramager is finally making its shining debut, and certainly shining it definitely did here. Again, I'm still looking for episode number 1. For those of you who did in fact join us late, episode 1 by the time I went live had not dropped yet with its English subs, at least. I'm kind of hoping that they do tonight, or if at least by tomorrow, so we'll certainly see. But regardless, as long as it drops tonight, we definitely will be doing a Kiramager review for you guys tomorrow, so definitely do not worry there. Doomsday says, what about the live stream of the cast reveal for Kiramager? You somehow managed to pronounce all their names right. Hey, I've been practicing, man. I have been trying to practice before we even get into this. Like when we did have the names revealed, I did try and at least practice some of it. Doesn't mean that I remembered all of them when I started watching the episode. I literally, before I even got on here, I had to bring up their character names just to make sure I was getting everybody correct, honestly. So thank you very much for that, for sure. So yes, I'm definitely trying to pronounce them better this year. Knowledge says, I love this episode. This is probably one of my favorite Sentai premieres ever. And one thing I love about it is that it doesn't feel rushed. Finally, a Sentai premiere that doesn't feel rushed. Yeah, for me, as an episode 0, I thought it had really great pacing. I will say this episode did clock in at 28 minutes. So it is longer than your average episode that we really had. So this really probably gave them a lot of time to fully stretch out the story that they wanted to kind of tell, really using it as a great sort of jumping off point, getting us all the details that we definitely need. And I thought they did a marvelous job. Again, I don't know how much of what we learned in episode 0 will be explained to us in episode 1, or if it'll show that episode 0 was actually a pretty pivotal episode for people not to miss. So we'll wind up having to find out. But I'm really glad that you love this episode, Not Ultra. Shadow Nova Productions certainly joins us. Thank you very much. Twin Sister says, I don't think the king is dead, captured and probably injured, but not 100% dead. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. The only thing that we saw was him being dragged out of the throne room, if anything. So if anything, I'm kind of in agreement with you, Twin Sister. I think he's probably captured. Zachary, what's up, Zachary? Thanks for popping in today. He says, when I look, not Ultra says, when I look back at Sentai premieres like Ninja and Real Soldier, they feel very rushed. They try to set up the status quo so quickly and give us all the toys all in the first episode. And I love the fact that they didn't do that here. And then we've got Devin Williams, who says, this episode was amazing. The suits are very amazing in motion. I like everyone so far, but the Red Ranger is very, very loud, and he constantly says, Kirame King. I hope he calms down. What did he say in when the girl in the class was asking him to draw her? And I think he was trying to say inspiration and also sparkle at the same time. He was like, in sparklation or some shit, like some. So I feel like that's gonna be his thing. That's gonna be his thing at the end. Like in every episode, he's got to somehow put the word sparkle in another word. So we'll see. But it seemed like it was like in sparklesation or something like that, as he was trying to get inspiration of how to draw the girl in his class. So we'll see. We'll see how loud he is. I'm wondering if he's just loud like that when he does get some sort of drawing inspiration and Homeboy just gets into the zone, or if he's like that 24/7. Because again, for me, it seems as though he did have some semblance of being calm when we first saw him in the very beginning of the episode having that dream. But the moment you mentioned, hey, draw me, he was like, you got it. And he goes off into like a whole nother realm. So we'll see how that turns out, though. But I'm glad that you liked it, Devin, for sure. EETV, what's up, EE? He says, is that Geki Ranger symbol that the Green Ranger has on her track shirt? I don't know. Is it? Is it? I'm not quite sure. I'll have to go back and check that out, EETV. I didn't notice that. Twist, why do I want to keep saying Twista every time I see you, twin sister? Maybe I'll just be your name, Twista. Twin sister. Carrots means cool and radical, ambitious team. I think it was in the scan, and it's on Ranger Wiki. Thank you very much for clarifying that for me. I really appreciate that. I was like, what the hell does carrot stand for? Karat. Cool and radical, ambitious team. I like it. I like it. Devin Williams says, I am liking the Red Ranger's personality. He's one of those people who will be honest and straightforward with you, like with that girl at the end. I mean, that is true. He will tell it to you like it is. Because, yeah, wasn't he, like, even though he, granted, while she certainly didn't like his masterpiece, I actually thought it was a pretty cool, like, inspirational piece, building off of just her image. But if you listen or watch what he was saying, like, he's literally breaking down even some of her like faults in her personality a little bit, or like the way that she comes out of people. So everything that he puts on his page is really like representing the person as themselves, you know. So yeah, there are clearly some really great things that that he highlights, but also if he looks at this portion, this also kind of highlights maybe some of the not so good aspects. So yeah, super straightforward with you and honest. So yeah, I that is a great attribute there for sure, Devin. Twin Sister says, I like the Red Ranger, but I also understand if other people find him annoying. Yeah, again, I'm not gonna really give a full judgment opinion on Red yet, especially not after episode 0. Again, that's just for me, just because I did see 2 aspects of him, and I really want to see which side of him starts coming out a little bit more as we kind of eventually understand his character a little bit better. Not Ultra says, I can't remember the owner dude's name. So for now, I'm just going to call him Pen Pineapple Apple Pen, or short for Pap. What? I call him Mr. Apple Pen. Mr. Apple Pen? Are we talking about the same? Are we talking about Moryu? The guy, like his the king's friend that Mabushina meets up with? Mr. Apple Pen. Is that who we were referring to? Doomsday says, Adam, I can see what you actually mean by your feelings for Cena, because I got to admit, I watched episode 0. I got a little bit of a crush on Cena. Hey, man, I called this like months ago. The moment I saw, I was like, yep, Cena's going to be one of my favorite characters. I already know it. And just from the trailer alone, her interaction with Green is so fascinating to me. And she already, like, I already feel like we've got some great leaders too on this team, even before Red winds up joining the group. I mean, Tamatomo, for the most part, he seems like he's a go get it sort of guy. Like, he's not gonna wait up for anybody to kind of give him some orders. He's ready to take charge. I think he's the first person that like starts getting everybody really ready to go ahead and transform. So that was pretty cool to see. We even have, I mean, goodness, when you've got Seo there, who's a doctor, I'm pretty sure she's got her own issues in regards to she's got her own ability to go ahead and lead. And Cena clearly being the track star that she is, I'm pretty sure she's probably the captain of her track team too. So yeah, a lot to enjoy about a lot of these characters. But yeah, Cena's already made an impression on me. Zachary says, I laughed majority of the episode. Red annoys me. The girl he was with though looked familiar. Love the Stones to partner dynamic otherwise. Yeah, the Stones really jumped out at me. Just because of the fact that we get the opportunity to see their personalities and that they're all individually different. So they're all going to have reactions to some of our characters differently and interacting with one another differently too. So yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. Ram Jam, what's up, Ram Jam? I appreciate you coming through, showing some love today. It's going well, man. For a Monday, it's not bad. Anytime a Monday gets to start off by a brand new Super Sentai series, count me in, man. EETV says the Sixth Ranger will probably be silver with a platinum gemstone. You know, I really would like for them to stay away from gold and silver maybe in this season. If they do, it's fine. It's just become such a norm in Super Sentai for their additional Rangers to be like either gold or silver. So I would be okay with it, but I really would love to see them have some fun with that aspect when it comes to it be like opal or a pearl or something. Like I'll take a pearl. I would love it, like a pearl Sixth Ranger. That's like a iridescent sort of white. I would take something like that too, but I don't know if they would do that. Doomsday says the Kirame stones kind of reminded me of Changer from Abba Rangers, since both physically talk. Not Ultra also says, I love the fact that they set up the mythology right away and it eliminates all confusion in terms of where to get their powers, and that's just great. Yeah, I'm hoping as the season progresses too, we get a little bit more backstory in regards to like some flashback sequences. Like I would love to see a planet Crystalia sort of in its prime a little bit more, if you know what I mean. Zachary says, you said the same thing as Japanime. I agree with you both. The blue stone is the hype man. Yeah, amongst all of them, like I think yellow's a pretty supportive gem for the most part. But blue is just a hype man all day long. No, bro, you're the strongest of all of them. Go and show them, man. Come on, bro. I love the fact that he calls him bro too. It honestly, I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's exactly what that reminds me of too. Shadow Nova Production says, that scene where the guy fakes his death, it reminds me how the Kara Rangers came together. It was basically the same way. Oh yeah, when he was faking his death, that was pretty funny also. Yeah, I will say this, a quick honorable mention, the Jotunheim's henchmen, I think they call them the penchant or something like, I think it's like penchant. I'm not the biggest fan of their design. Like just the costume design and things like that. Maybe they'll grow on me a little bit, but they do have those gigantic like hammers that are half hammers, half claw, whatever. And that's exactly what they wind up getting Homeboy with in this episode. Yeah, Doomsday says we've got Juru, who's a drawer. We've got Tamatomo, who's a gamer. Shiguru, an actor. Cena, a track star, and Seiyu, a doctor. What a bizarre group of Sentai Rangers. And I'm pretty sure Mabushina agreed with you and certainly felt the same way, Doomsday, in regards to that. That's really where her biggest question marks were, like, are you sure her being fast is going to be enough? You know what I'm saying? So she definitely questioned it also. But again, I think the idea of them, if you are the best at what you're doing, you immediately have to have this presence and aura and mentality about you to just be a go-getter, to go out there, jump over any hurdles, any obstacles, and just go get it. If you have that type of mentality, and clearly they all do because they are the best at what they do, for me, it makes a perfect fit as to why they become Kiramagers at the end of the day. Now Ultra says the suits are really starting to grow on me, and the fight this episode was really solid. I already like the Pap character so much better than Yui and her father. He seems like a lot of fun. Yeah, he definitely does feel like a lot of fun. Even gave the Aloha sign. I thought that was pretty neat also. So he should be a pretty fun character to kind of see how that goes. I'm glad the suits are growing on you, for sure. You know, the one thing that I always say at the beginning of every Super Sentai series, you know, when we at least have the reveals, you know, regardless if you like a suit or not, based off of first reveal, I always say just, you know, temper your expectations a little bit until you actually get the opportunity to see them in action, right? I mean, granted, yeah, we do get to see them in leaked footage, like leaked scans or leaked footages here or there. I'm pretty sure that's not how the company would love for you to get the opportunity to see these costumes in action. These costumes are in fact made to be seen in live action when moving, when adding special effects and things like that. So sometimes seeing still photos don't necessarily always do costumes justice. So I think we should all just be mindful about that whenever we do get Super Sentai costume reveals. Certainly, okay, let's definitely have your opinion if you like or dislike something, but definitely be flexible in the idea of, hey, maybe once I see it in live action, it may impress me a little bit more. So I'm really glad that in this regards, not Ultra, it definitely did. And for me, when it comes to the suits, I'm always fascinated to see how the suit design will fit in with the henshin change. And for me, when I saw them changing into it, I absolutely loved it. I honestly thought the change looks great. Not Ultra says, I also love this. I love this pre-pilot. My only complaint this episode is Red, but I will give him a chance because of Lucky. I just hope his entire character isn't him just shouting his catchphrases. In sparkleization. So his catchphrases at the camera, and that's his entire character. That's usually my problem with most Sentai crackhead Red. Just make him one. Just don't make him one note. The other characters seem likable, but not same from them. I will say that Blue does give me Gokai Blue vibes. Yeah, I can see the Gokai Blue vibes there for sure, especially with just his demeanor and his impressions, just straight stoic. You know what I mean? But you're right. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. That's why I haven't really given my full opinion yet on Red, because I do want to see what the rest of his personality is definitely going to be like going forward for sure. Because, yeah, I hope that's not him, too. Like, I'm hoping that's just not him every episode. Like, if he does a catchphrase every episode, I'm okay with that, because I have a feeling he may do that. It's just one of those, I just don't, not the whole episode, please. Not the whole episode. Zachary's in complete agreement with you. Ram Jam says, I was impressed with episode 0, as was I. And guys, do me a quick favor. If you are in the live chat as we're going through some of these live chat comments, and you're joining us here for our episode 0 review, do me a big favor, man. Hit that like button if you haven't done so yet, especially if you're in the live chat. Go ahead and show this channel definitely some support. It's just YouTube's way of being able to see how many people are watching and really recommend our channel and things like that to other people. So definitely, if you're in the live chat, hit that like button, guys. Show some love today. Not Ultra says, as far as the villains, I like them so far. I just hope they get deeper and more complex. We need compelling villains again, because we haven't gotten one since ToQger, and I really do feel as though for the most part this probably will take elements of ToQger. I mean, goodness, I jumped into the first episode, that is episode 0 here, and I've been saying this even before I watched this episode. Can we please get a Kiramager and ToQger crossover? I really would love to see that here this year. I just think it's personally, I just think their themes would just flow so well together, honestly. But you're right. When it comes to the villains, ToQger for me, it's been a while since I've had great villains like ToQger, and I really would like to see that focused on, and I think we're going to get them. I think because of the fact that we already have our King's brother turning traitor and doing him in sort of thing, I think it should get spicy. It should get spicy in regards to the villain storyline. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, but we may be onto something here this season. Zachary says, hey, now Ultra, Japanime called the mentor Pineapple Pen. Pineapple Pen. So we're not even going to call them Moryu anymore. Well, Pineapple Pen. Is that his name now? Is that what we're going to roll with? Not Ultra says, I am curious what is going on with Red. I'm curious if he has a connection to the villains. Since his drawing was a drawing of Garza, they may go in the direction of Right Story from ToQger. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that there's a connection there. Whether he's originally from Crystalia himself in Kiramager Red or not, there definitely is a connection there. So we'll see how that winds up turning out. Devin says, I just realized something about the Kiramagers base is inside a giant tree in the middle of the city. You're absolutely right in regards to that, Devin. It's actually the tallest building in the city, if I remember from just at least from looking at the landscape and things like that. But you're right. It's like extremely thin, goes all the way up, and then it's sprouting leaves. It's definitely like a gigantic tree in the middle of the city. And Devin says, and everyone is okay with this. No one is asking why. Yeah, who works in that big-ass building over there? Does anybody know? That's probably what everybody's asking. Zachary says, and I'm pretty sure Princess's father is captured rather than killed. I'm curious on his relationship with Pineapple Pen. Yeah, I'm definitely fascinated by their relationship, too. I mean, the fact that clearly they've known each other for a while, and I only say that for two reasons. One, because Karat's already been established, right? They've simply just been waiting for this moment to actually happen, so everybody kind of comes on board very easily. And then also, he does have this massive pendant on his chest, and now I don't necessarily know what that pendant is. I kind of was speculating that maybe it's like him being knighted or being a part of the family in some way or capacity. I'm not really quite sure, but I am interested to see what their relationship is like, and I do think that it'll be explored a little bit more. If anything, even if it's just Moryu, aka Pineapple Pen, just talking about his past with King Oradin or whatever the case may be, I would be open to that for sure. I definitely feel that there's going to be a lot of storytelling going on in here as we try and learn about the past of Planet Crystalia and all these relationships. Not Ultra says, overall, really love this episode, and I'm excited for episode 1. After that crap Real Soldier, it just felt so refreshing to enjoy a Sentai again. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart. Fingers crossed. Yeah, this is just episode 0, right? We're not even into episode 1 just yet, so we'll see if they can continue along with this momentum and just have solid storytelling all the way through. So let's definitely keep our fingers crossed in regards to that, guys. Again, for those of you who are joining that didn't hear me at the beginning of this, when I did go live at 8 o'clock, episode 1 had not dropped yet in regards to English subs. So that's the reason why we're highlighting episode 0 today. If episode 1 is subbed today, if anything, I'll probably be doing a review for you guys tomorrow on episode 1, so stay tuned for that. And then for you Black Lightning fans, if you're certainly joining us, we will be doing a Black Lightning review for you guys tomorrow also. So double duty for yours truly tomorrow for sure, but we definitely want to highlight both of those shows since we've got Kiramager debuting and Black Lightning wrapping up its season 3. So really pretty important episodes this week that we wanted to highlight. Now Ultra says the real test the real test is if this season is any good, is how it progresses. So can't judge too much from the pilot. And you're absolutely right in regards to Now Ultra. But I look, from first impressions, from everything that people have been saying, I really do think that everybody's enjoying it so far. Well, again, we'll see when we get into by episode 10 who's still on the bandwagon, who's decided I'll come back to it later. We'll definitely go ahead and see how that winds up turning out. But I do think that this is certainly a series that people will certainly flock to. I don't think it's going to be as divisive as Real Soldier for some people. I have a feeling that Super Sentai is probably, hopefully, on its way back up with this Kiramager season. But we'll definitely have to see, guys. But hey, we want you to join us for this season for sure, because we will be doing Kiramager reviews each and every week here at APlus Opinions. So do me a big favor. If you want to make sure that you're up to date with our reviews, hit that subscribe button and, of course, hit that bell notification. So anytime we schedule a video or we go live with a video, you guys will certainly be notified. And, of course, if you want to follow us on social media, you can go ahead and do so right here at APlus Opinions on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. As of right now, I usually like to do a little call sign before I leave. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is yet. Doomsday says Kara may change. I'm not going to do that for episode 0, though. Let me get to the end of episode 1, and see if that's actually their catchphrase for the season or not. Because we had Real So Cool, we had Adu, and so I don't know if Kirame changes is the farewell call or not, but I will be doing a farewell call at the end of each episode for sure, guys. So definitely stay tuned for that. But hopefully, guys, we'll get Kiramager episode 1 for you later this week. So definitely look out for that. Hopefully tomorrow. And in the meantime, guys, do me a big favor: take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll talk to you guys later. Keep it A+. Have a good one. Bye.